Hey team, welcome to the final stage of our drawing. So this is the 5th week we're spending on it, which means this will probably be the best drawing that you've done in this whole year. Well, the year that you've spent with me. So in this session, we are going to look at how to apply the hair, how to finish the mouth, but also if you are on Patreon, I'll show you how to refine it even more. So this is going to be such an amazing portrait ready for our final month, which is December, and trying to complete that journey from the beginning of the year when you followed each video each week. So well fucking done, by the way. All right, folks, grab your pencils and let's get started.
Okay, so let's just do a little bit of work on the hair. There's not much of it, but it is quite, what's the word? It moves quite a lot. Oh, I didn't mean to draw that. I wanted to see where the lowest part of the hair was. So there's a lot of like wispiness in the hair. So first of all, I want to do the easy things, which is these dark edges. We've done a lot of the right-hand side. And on the hair, you don't have to draw every single one, especially if you just got like a random glow or highlight on one of the hairs. What we want to do is kind of get the base of it. So if you see like a medium shade, you want to get the base shade first, like the edges back here are darker. And I might just work in some chunks so that when I use my eraser, it's just going to be a bit easier to rub out. And then this is a chunk. There we go. And then we'll just blend that in. Let's do some hair up here. I'm happy with the forehead height because I measured that earlier. So let's do some in the direction of the hair. There we go. And then if you see any big chunks in the hair, big chunks of black, pop them in because it will help. I do find the hair the most boring part. It's not really interesting. You have to do it. You have to do the hair. So there's some nice big chunks over here. I love it when the hair is just like really dark or like super straight because then you really don't have to stress so much. Okay, and then all of this is fairly dark, so we can go for a medium tone. And then these up here. So now I'm getting to a point where I want to start adding some directional hairs. So think about the movement. Where are those hairs curving towards? So it is starting to look really, really good. I might just pop an ear in actually just to balance out the face because that's really showing itself up. Okay, and then I'm just gonna pop a little bit of shading in. You don't have to do much, to be honest. There's not much going on over here. Just to make sure your ear's not too big. So I just chop that off. I'll just use my 2B underneath over here, and then there's a little bit there. Good. So that just balances it off, and I'm just gonna finally get rid of this grid. I've kind of forgot about that, to be honest. Okay, fab. So you actually might be very happy with this. I'm really happy with it. But for those of you that want to push it a little bit further, I'm going to do a bit more work on the hair. So I'm using my 2B. And you see this flicky motion. So I'm not colouring it in. And I'm just trying to get in the direction of the hairs. I'm leaving some areas so that it looks like we've got some white hair. And then I just want to look at each section and just see where the direction of the hair goes. So some of them cross underneath, some of them go to the right, some of them bend to the left. So just keep looking at the picture and seeing where the hair goes. And then you want to do the same from the base. So flicking up. And obviously, I think she does have blonde hair in this. It looks fairly blonde because the highlights are very, very light. So I also want to make sure I'm leaving enough of the streak. So I'll just use my eraser rubber, and this pencil rubber is so handy for this. And just try and push in some of those strands that go over there. But also I want to make sure that there's like a band here that's very light, so that's reflecting the light on her face. So I just want to make sure that that band is nice and light. And then what you can do to do some lines that are just hair-like rather than shadow, is just use your 2H and just go over those sections and just add some more hair without making it super dark. So get it nice and hairy. Okay, and then I kind of want to blend this in with, because otherwise you end up having very blunt hairline. So I'm actually going down towards the skin. There's a few hairs that go down as well, so we can just add a few of those really lightly. Can't see many. Good. And then finally I'll go into the hair and just pull out some sections. So I'll find an edge and then I'll just do some like triangular hair bits as if they're shadows. Just get them going up in there. So I will be looking at some bits of hair in great detail. Just a few of them, just to see where we can add some darkness and show that the hair is going in loads of different directions. So what else have we got? I think still in this strand, we've got another big chunky bit of hair there. Shorter one. And you see there, it looks like it's really overlapped, which is exactly what we're after. Get some taller bits of hair. Back over there. There as well. Nice. And then this goes under there. Oh, here's a couple of small ones. And then if there's an edge here, we can have some hair just coming out of the edge. There's a lot of triangles, like really long triangles in hair. Oh, I'm being brave. I'm like, oh, this is a blonde hair, so I'm shading it in. Just letting that go up there. It's just got some good wispy bits. Let's do one out here. Ooh, let's go one across there. Be brave with it, be brave with it. Why not, eh? This is one of our first portraits of the year. So really push yourself, see what you're comfortable with. Can you do one going down there? Wow. Oh, that was a bit too brave, to be honest. Get some thinner ones. One going out like that. There's a got, oh, a nice little shape here. I've got one there. So the main thing is that if you are going to add these rogue ones, do have a look as well. Like, don't wing all the hairs, because if you don't know what shapes you're trying to put on, then that's when you could run into trouble. And I've run into a bit of trouble because I can't reach my hair that much. But I'll just do a few. Okay. Banging. So let's just do a little bit of work on the mouth. And then we're pretty much there. So for the wrinkles, I like to add that main one in the middle. There's always one pretty much in the middle. And then I'll just add a few like curves that bend either side. And then I'll use my 2B for the next part. You basically want to leave these little highlights on some of them. So this lip actually gets darker as we move across, because obviously the face is curved. Use my 8B just to push that in. And then on the left side, this always likes to have a soft bit around there. And obviously just blend that center in. Good. And then I'll just add some very, very light lines going up. And that, to be honest, that pretty much will do. It's just deciding how far you want to take it. So you can literally spend hours and hours on these drawings, which is nice. It's a really good thing about it. It's nice to just switch off and just, you know, do some drawing. But the more time you spend on it, the better it will be. And that's like anything you do, you know. So good. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of shading on this neck, just to make it feel like it's more her, or it's more of a head on a neck. I could just try and blend this in ever so slightly. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do now, folks, is if you're on Patreon, you will see how the next stage will look. If not, if you're on YouTube, then I'm afraid you'll have to go to Patreon to do the rest. But what you want to do for this stage is use your 2H and just try and soften any texture. So I will show this video on Patreon. Otherwise, I think you should be very, very happy with what you've done.
So if you do want to see how to refine it even more with the 2H, head on over to Patreon and I can show you how. Otherwise, well done. This is a challenging portrait. And to be honest, portraits are very, very hard, but you learn so much from them. So I am really proud that you've stuck to the end, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you keep drawing portraits and follow our next portrait tutorial, which will be ourselves, because that was the challenge that we set at the beginning of the year. So get your portrait ready and I'll show you next week how to start it. See you later, folks.